Do you generate a lot of logs inside of Kestra and you want to be able to store those in your centralized monitoring platform? Then the new LogShipper is just for you. Inside of Kestra 0.21, you can now export logs using a system flow to a destination of your choice. Here I've got an example that's going to use AWS CloudWatch to be able to export my logs, and it's going to do it once a day. Now, as you can see here, I have it set up with my AWS credentials. And if I go to CloudWatch, we can see I've got a log group already set up, ready to go. And here is my log stream where I'll be able to view my logs. Now, I've had a task that's generated a bunch of different logs, but if I now execute this workflow, what we'll see is it's going to upload those directly to CloudWatch, like so. And now if I give this a refresh, we'll see that we'll be able to view our logs directly inside of here. And so here I can see that these are some of the logs that were generated. We can see that all of these are from various different things. So if you're someone who wants to store your logs inside of an external monitoring platform such as CloudWatch, then you can do that. We have multiple log exporters, so you can have multiple destinations such as AWS and Azure, but as well as Datadog and OpenTelemetry. One of the cool things is you can actually have multiple log exporters. So it will collect all those logs and then it can export them to multiple locations at the same time. But if you don't want to export it directly to these platforms, you can also use the file log exporter to be able to log it directly to Kestra, and then you have Kestra handle the file however you like. Here I've got an example that is going to export our logs as a file, which I can then access through the outputs. This means I can then use it in later tasks such as an S3 upload to be able to send that log file to a bucket or to your local machine depending on what your scenario is. Now the key thing that I've added to this example is I'm using a namespace to basically say only get me the logs from the company.team namespace. It's going to fetch all the logs from company.team, and if I go to the outputs tab, we'll see here I can view the file directly inside of Kestra, and as we can see here it's got all of my logs here in a nice table format. So now if I go over to AWS and we give this a refresh, we'll see that the logs has successfully been uploaded to S3, and I can actually download it and open it inside of my system. And as you can see here, we've got all the logs here in a nice dedicated file to make things simple. And going back to that offset key, we can view that here inside of the namespaces page where I can see both of those different system flows I had. It stores the timestamp of when that was last executed to make sure that we're not going to go and fetch logs that were already shipped and exported to the destinations we asked it to. Hopefully you're going to start using the new LogShipper to be able to connect your Kestra logs to your monitoring platforms. Let us know how you're going to use this in the comments below, and if there's any features you'd love to see in an upcoming release.